Hello once again, it's Mr. Pete, and this introduction to a video is something a little bit different than what I usually do. Actually, this is a collaboration with my long-distance friend and associate out on the East Coast by the name of Ellie Price, and I've talked about him several times before. Well, he, along with his grandson Keaton, who did the filming, made a video of the various improvements that Ellie made on a much older Delta bandsaw than this. Now, they've been making these since the 30s, and his was built during the war. This one was built in the 90s, and it has some improvements such as the hinge door, but also many things have been cheapened on this. But I think you'll find it interesting that Ellie has put a door hinge on the older model, which is so necessary. The two knobs were a nightmare. A sawdust collector was added. He put on a slow-speed gear type motor so that he can cut metal, because he is a metal worker, not really a woodworker. He's got a little bit of an air blower on it and an extremely clever belt guard. So thank you to Ellie and to Keaton for sending this along. I edited the video just a little bit, and there are many still pictures at the end. So I hope you enjoy this. Please leave some comments and direct them toward Ellie rather than me. And thank you for watching.
Hi, this is Ellie Price. Some of you will remember me probably from some videos that I helped Mr. Pete make. One for a tramming device for a Bridgeport milling machine, and another one for a 4-spindle drilling device also for a milling machine, and a couple of a grinding video that I made for him also. He's an old friend of mine, and I'm glad to help him. He thinks that maybe if I show this Delta video and all of the modifications that I've made to it over the years, that his viewers might like to see that. It's one of the oldest, probably the most popular bandsaw ever made, millions made. And this particular one I've had since about 1992. I bought it from a cabinet maker, actually a cabinet maker's widow, and he'd had it for a long time. And even though it looks new, it's actually very old. Delta started recording serial numbers in 1941, and this one has the oldest serial number and the oldest serial number plate that's listed. So we think it's made probably during World War II. But anyway, I'd like to introduce you to my grandson Keaton, who's filming this video. He's a General Motors engineer, and he does a good job in everything he does. So first of all, let's just walk around, have a walk around the bandsaw so you can see it. I hope we have enough light here. I think we do, but go ahead, Keaton, and walk around and look at the, maybe you can zoom in on this serial number right here. I've done about 10 modifications to this saw to make it easier to use and more productive, and I enjoy doing it too. I'll point out a few of them. First of all, I took this door off. It used to have 2 of these knobs, so I removed one and put a hinge on it, so it make it easier to remove and replace. That's one of the small changes that I made. This little thing here is a good place to hang the air hose. And we have another modification for the air hose. So that's a little device I added to blow the chips away, and it worked really well. Let me show you that one more time. And of course, a work light helps a lot. And if Keaton, if you can look under here, I'll show you something else. That's it's actually a chute for the chips to fall down this chute and into this bucket. Let me put it around so I can see this pretty bucket. So that helps probably catch about 80% of the chips in that bucket, and that will come off very easily. One of the big things I did to this bandsaw is change it into a metalworking bandsaw. This is a gear motor. When I bought this bandsaw, it had a 1750 RPM motor that's ideal for a woodworking saw, but I'm a metal worker, so I changed it to a metalworking bandsaw. This gear motor runs at 140 RPM, and it operates like this. It operates, in step pulleys. With these step pulleys, with two belts. This belt is a little bit longer, and this shorter belt, I can get about 8 different speeds, from real slow to metalworking with this wooden pulley, which incidentally works very well, and all the way up to a high speed for woodworking. And of course, it has to be protected like that. Let me turn it on, and I'll give you an idea. These slides are something I added also, and of course you can change the belts. Another device I added that really helps is a tensioning device. We adjust this nut so that you got a small amount of tension, like this, and that tightens the belt. To release it, we do this, and then I can change the belt. I can take that belt off and put this one on. And readjust this. Now we got a different speed. Okay, one more thing I'm gonna show you is I'm gonna open this door, so of course you could see the machine running. And the way I keep the door open is a little wooden thing like that. So Keaton, if you'll move around the back, I'll show you something. I'll show you how I quickly change, release, and tighten the band. You can do that by hand, of course, but this makes it so much easier. What would we do without a cordless drill? One more time, one more thing, Keaton, if you'll zoom in on this little device right here. It doesn't take much, about that much, to blow the chip off. And this tube can be quickly disconnect it if you need this something big to go in here. You can take that off. And this is a handy place to hang the air hose. This hole here happened to be a core hole for a sand casting, and it happened to be the right size for a 3/4 tin tap. And so I simply tapped it and made this adapter to hang that on. That works really well. What else? Oh, zoom in on those hinges down there, and I'll show you how that works. Can you see that? Of course, you can add a vacuum to this. Come back here, Keith, and I'll show you. Back here, there's a vacuum port right here. Vacuum port right there. That if you need a vacuum, you can hook it up right there. And one more thing, I think I forgot to show you. It's a little chip tray. I think I'll take this off and show you how the inside of this is made. So any chips that come off of the blade that doesn't go in the can end up in here. And as you can see, I painted the whole saw completely, and added the decals to it, which makes it look new, even though it's very old. So let me put this back on. Like most saws, you adjust the height of the cutting height with this, and you also keep your guides adjusted very well. The top guides and the bottom guides, they need to be very tight so that the blade will run true. And also this little bearing needs to be positioned right behind the blade so that it supports the blade also. It's been a very good saw for me. I've enjoyed using it. I can cut wood on it, plastic or metal, and I've used it for probably close to 30 years, and it's probably good for another 100 years. So hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll send it on to my friend Mr. Pete, and see if he's interested in his viewers taking a look at it. I don't cut much wood on this saw. I mostly cut metal, usually with bimetal blades. But today I'd like to cut some wood on it, see how that goes. We've got a protractor here. Before we had 10 and 12-inch miter saws, we had these. And as you can see, this one has a brass protractor on it. And so it worked really well. And so first of all, before we do that, let's show Mr. Pete's viewers how this comes off. Now we're going to hook it back on, and like that. This little device goes behind the saw, and it catches a lot of the sawdust that the chute don't catch. And of course it falls in this bucket. Now I'll show you that we've got it set on the high speed right here, which is about 1,250 feet a minute. And so that's the highest speed. It's not as high as some woodworkers would like, but it's high enough to cut wood just fine. We're going to cut a piece of wood using the miter saw like this. Have to be very, very careful. I'm going to raise this stop a little bit higher and try that again. Now we're going to try it on 30 degrees. You want to zero in on this, Keaton? All right. One more time. I forgot to turn on the air. Let's try it one more time. So that's your sawing demonstration. Of course, you can turn it on any degrees. It goes up to 60. I don't use this very often, but it can be used. And of course, I've restored it along with the rest of the saw. So hopefully Mr. Pete's viewers will like to see this, to see how the restored saw works. Of course, I added this part right here and restored everything. So let's see what's in the bucket. So thank you for watching the video. I'll send it on to Mr. Pete and see what he thinks about it. And I appreciate Keaton filming it for me. I've enjoyed using this bandsaw for probably 30 years, or close to 30 years. And it's probably good for another 100 years. There's no reason why it should wear out if it's taken good care of. So I hope to see you in the next video.